What we doing there? Salute to my audience. Hope you and your family's good. Make sure you're subscribed because you can't be in my audience and you ain't subscribed, you know, bad man. Miss. Notification bells on. Let's run up these numbers. Now we're back to it. If you've been following the last few days, I've been just breaking down I know it's negative, my prison stories. I feel like there's a need for it. So many messages that I get. So from part 1 forward all the way till now, catch up, know what's going on. Then you know my story like I know my story. Do you get it? So that's what we call being transparent. Now, recap. So I left Wayland 2012, if I'm not mistaken. I'm on the roads, music again, all sorts of music, all sorts of being outside with the folks and that. Whilst being on license, I catch another case. This case is for knowingly concern. Yeah, knowingly concern. And at the time, I never knew what that was. I was aware of conspiracy, I was aware of other things, and knowingly concern, I was kind of like, what is this? Basically meaning, you know of an operation that's going on. Whether you're involved, whether you know the whereabouts of it, you're in the know of it. Yeah, so knowingly concern. 2 codees, Little Z, my brother Reaps. Yeah? Cool. We go to High Down. Yeah, we go to... What court was we in, man? We was in... What court was we in? Guildford Crown. They send us to High Down. My first time in High Down. So, I'm on license. I'm on remand. I'm in High Down. My first time going to High Down. 2 codees with the bros. Yeah? Cool. If I'm not mistaken, induction wing, I feel like it was house block 2 at that time. So this is 2012. So we're on induction wing. Now remember, I'm with bro. That's Reaps. Little Z, this man's Cody. From induction, I feel like Little Z was moved because I remember bro was on a mad thing. And I remember it was crazy. A few female officers ended up having bro in a way. Yeah? But bro wasn't having it though. But they moved him to a different house block. I feel like he got moved over to 3. So we've been separated. Me and bro, that's Reaps, we're still together. Z's gone over to house block 3, I believe. In the yard, we've gone from now, I feel like 2 to house block 4. But house block 4 and house block 3, they share the same yard. So if you're in house block 4 and you go into the excise yard, you can talk to the people in house block 3 through their cell windows or their little bottom piece that had a little, like a little room that they can chill in. So if they're out, they could chat to the man them in the yard. And I remember, and this one we can clarify because you know the smoker, the new smoker, he was talking about this particular time as well as Rochi. But this is the whole time, so we're going to get there. I remember Reaps talking to Bud. Shout out Bud. Reaps knew Bud. So they're rapping. Bud's on that. I remember just doing laps. I feel like at that point I wasn't familiar with nobody. Reaps was a lot more familiar. Reaps being, you know, heavy on the streets, heavily involved. He would know more street people than I would. You get what I'm trying to say? But again, everything calm. I think Reaps ended up getting bail. So now it's just me and Z. Z's on house block 3, I'm on house block 4. On house block 4 with me at the time is Fights from Ghetto, Monson. Salute my brother Fights, wherever you are, Brody. Cast, Croydon. Salute my brother Cast. Who else was there? Littles, Ghetto. Salute Littles. Fat Chris. Salute Fat Chris. I think he's from Sutton. Who else was there, man? And a few of the other folks on that. You know, if I forget the names, it's not on purpose. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So I remember I was in a cell with Fights. Fights was on Servery. So again, I was patterned, I was calm. Door was open regular. Fast forward, what happens in that year in High Down? Everything's calm. What happened to fights and that? Did fights end up moving? Or did I move? I can't recall. Because I remember now, Drowsy, shout out my brother Drowsy, Ghetto, Naf, salute to Naf. Them man there forwarded. But I feel like we're all on the same, I feel like we're all on 4. Drowse, correct me if I'm wrong, you know, but I'm sure we're all on house block 4 at the time. But I remember High Down was calm. We started patterning because Fat Chris, his brother on the road, being the local area and that, things started flying. You know what I'm saying? Similar to how I was telling you about Edmonds Hill, we're going again in High Down. Yeah, this is 2012. So we're running it up like that. We're running it up like that to the point where I think I got moved from house block 4 to house block 1. If I'm not mistaken. Did I go from 4 to 1? I went from 4 to 1. I'm sure it was 4 to 1. And I remember I was in a cell with Drowsy. Me and Drowsy was together in a cell. Louds rolling. All sorts of things. No problems, no trouble. Now, one of the smokers was talking about how he remembers me being with Littles, and that's facts because Littles was man's little bro. I don't remember the smoker that well. The face I recall, but we didn't have no personal conversations as far as I'm aware, sorry. We didn't have none of that. So, fast forward from Rochi, because of the things we've been keeping up with, you know, I've been getting moved from house block to house block due to they believe I'm patterning, basically. I remember I get a ship out bus to Rochi. And I remember saying to Drowse, like, Rochi, what you reckon? And Drowsy's like, bro, I heard it's calm over there, X, Y, and Z. But I know by this time, little Z's gone Rochi. He's gone on these travels and he's in Rochi. Tiny Sneaks is in Rochi. And Thatch is in Rochi. So I know it's governed. It's calm. So I've gone Rochester. Cool. Now when I get to Rochester and I'm in the reception piece, a couple of the man them are patrolling. You can walk around in Rochi kind of thing. And I'm asking, man, who's in the jail? Where's Thatch? Where's Z? Where's Sneaks? Man, they're telling me, yes, Sneaks and Z are on B wing. Thatch is on C wing, if I'm not mistaken. You know? And at this point, I've never met Thatch because Thatch has been in jail for a while. You know? But that's bro. So I'm saying, cool. They're telling me D wing. I know. But we don't say it on our platform. But yeah. The wing between C and E, they've told me forward. But I'm saying calm. It's all single cells. Calm. Forward. I forward over there. I get over there. I remember I put my bags down over there. And now I forwarded back out because it's free flow kind of time. Lunchtime free flow, if I'm not mistaken. I see Z. And I see Io. But at this point, me and Io need to have a discussion about things. Nothing to do with me personally, but just a lack of respect. He had something with Bones. If you've been following the story, Bones, know him from Scrubs, was my cellmate in Blunderston. They had a little something in Blunderston. Now it's the first time I'm seeing Io. I've heard things. I need to address them. So I'm saying to Io, what's good? Io being there for a little while. Io's a loud youth. Shouldn't say you. It's very disrespectful. Io's a loud person. But me and Io was always cool before our little last situation where we was kind of verbal. You know what I'm saying? But Z is cool with Io and Z's little bro at the time. So it's one of them situations where nothing's happening. I'm saying, we chat to you around the corner. Z's trying to mitigate. Is that the right word? Believe so. Nothing happens. Long story short. It's dead. There's nothing going on there. Cool, I go back to my wing, whatever. When I get onto my wing now, I'm asking people on my wing who's on the wing. Someone's mentioned to me that the smoker is on the wing. But I remember the smoker's face from High Down. But we was never pally-pally, but there was no isms and schisms. But I knew through Littles didn't really like him, you know. So I want to check the temperature. I want to know what's good. Now, bear this in mind. The smoker said, I just forwarded in his cell and started pleading for my life. But I ask you to have common sense. One, How do I know where your cell is? I've just come on the wing. In order for me to know where your cell is, I would have to be the one asking where you are. What are we doing here? The smokers have been capping from the jump. So I ask. Someone points me to his cell. He's over there on the left-hand side. Now there's 2 floors in Rochie. Ground floor, first floor. So I go to the cell. And I'm not on nothing. I just want to see what the temperature is. So I go in the cell. What's good? High Down you was in, innit? A man's telling me, yeah. X, Y, and Z, what you here now? Yeah. What's going on over here? I'm someone in jail. I want to know what the pattern is. Who's got the pattern? Can we pattern? Is it quiet jail? Can we turn it up? That's all I care about. That's the hustler in me, you know? So he's making me know that it's not really like that over here. It's kind of quiet compared to High Down and X, Y, and Z, because he would have been aware of what was going on in High Down. Facts. No, it's not really like that over here. It's quiet over here and rare. At that time, Mr. Man, that he keeps on referring to, has forwarded in the cell. So there's me in the cell with the smoker and Mr. Man. What's good, Mr. Man? What's good? It's calm. No issue. I leave the cell to go to my cell to unpack, clean out my cell. You know the elements when you first get into a cell. Broom, sweep. Yeah? What's that one there again? Mop. You know. So I'm cleaning out my cell. Bags are on the landing as you do, cleaning out my cell. There's no issue. I haven't been made to feel a way about nothing. Ratty from East is on the wing. Ratty knows the folks and that. Ratty's check, man. Yeah, X and Y. That's, you don't know, that's the folks. Cool, bro. Anything you need, say no more. You're just down there? Cool. I feel like Marcus was on the wing. Them time there, me and Marcus don't know each other like that. But in the end, towards my time, that's bro. I don't know no issue on the wing. I don't know one issue on that wing. Couple kinky youths on the wing. Running around doing some kiss chase thing. That are the smokers' brethren. And I happened to talk to this brother here. Because I was saying to him, this is not on, bad man. But he was just a bit, yeah? Kinky. You're over there, bad man. That's it. So, there's no issue in Rochester. There's no issue at all. Fat Luke comes to the wing. White Luke from Luton. He's got all the loud. I end up getting some of the loud. I'm shotting loud to certain folks and that. Mr. Man is buying off of me. You know, the smokers guy. So I don't understand how somebody can say I was pressured on the wing. I was pleading for my life, because let's take it a few steps back. Mr. Man, the smoker, let me not confuse you. The smoker, in his statement, was talking about I was in his cell telling him I'm not involved in anything. I've got a family and that. Well, let's just pause there for a second. I've just done how many jails? Scrubs, Blunderston, Edmonds Hill, High Point, Wayland. I've done 4 jails. I'm forwarding from High Down, 5 jails. I was just with bro in High Down, Reeps. The streets know who Reeps is, bro. They know his affiliation. They know the set he represents, which means they know I represent my brother. I've already told you that I'm making man know anywhere I go where I'm from. So how can I now be in your cell, Mr. Smoker, telling you I'm not involved in anything? I don't want no trouble. Strange. All sorts of propaganda you're giving the folks and that. And then you tell me that I tell you I've got a family and that. Bad man, this is 2012. I have one daughter. She wasn't born until 2017. What family is it that I speak of when I'm begging for my life, as you say, saying I've got a family and that? Cap. All sorts of cap. And you wonder why a man like me sits here getting mad at smokers talking was. Because it's absurd, bad man. Out of pocket, bad man. You never made me feel any type of way, bad man. I would punch you up, Bad man. So many things I could say. Because here's what. Understand this. You see, if you're on a wing and maybe people are having discussions that you don't know of in cells and that, oh yeah, we're going to move to him. We're going to mash him up. Rare, tear, 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 tear. As long as that information doesn't reach you, you're not in the know, bro. What we doing here? Because if that was happening, it was never apparent to me. Back to the smoker. The smoker said, we heard Clue was in the jail. We heard Clue just come on the wing, but the man then ran to their cells to get their shanks, etc., etc., etc. So where was the man then with the shanks when I was there? Why was I not shipped out to the hospital? Airlifted. All sorts of shanks, you said. You said you had missed the man. But I'm in your cell asking you what the pattern is. What are we doing here? There's no need for me to lie on anything. I'm not acting Mr. Gangster. But what you're saying, Mr. Smoker, is cap. And you tell them that I'm capping. Bro, nothing for me happened in Rochi, hustling-wise, other than the weed that Luke came with. And man got a piece of that and started 1 or 2 cells, but mainly smoked it all, mainly on my machine. Nothing weren't really going on for me there. So when you hear me say I was running the wing, I mean me and my folks. Anytime I'm in jail, it's me and the folks running things, bro. One man can't do that. So you're mixing my words. One man can't run a wing. It takes a team, bro. Any jail I've been with, it's been teamed up. Naturally. Gracefully. So I don't know what your picture... I don't know what the picture is you're trying to paint. Oh, man said he was running. Bro, that's not my style, bro. In Rochi, I was chilling. So back to what you were saying, Mr. Kappa. Mr. Smoker, sorry. Fatch is on C-Wing. If I never came off the wing or if I never saw Fatch for 4 months, bad man, I was only in Rochester for 4 months. So how is it that I got to see Fatch then and I got to see Belly? They wasn't on my wing. How did I get to see Z? Sneaks was in the block, I believe. If I don't step off the wing, how do I see these folks? If I don't step off the wing, how am I in the Nasium? Shout out my brother T. Madman T, you know. My spa in the Nasium. You know. So it's cap you're talking about, bro. You're talking cap. You've been smoking too much. You're sitting in that seat with the flowers on it. And you're in La La Land, bad man. All sorts of foil. And you're barefoot. It's crazy. It's over, buddy. So I just want my audience to understand. You can listen to both accounts. Because there's the truth, there's the... No, what do they say? There's his version, there's my version, then there's the truth, right? You let me know. Because I'm letting you all know nobody pressed me in any jail I've ever been in, bro. Other than the time you've seen. And that wasn't even getting pressed, well, it kind of is. But it's a different kind of press. And it's kind of like... a man set it on, man. Cool. But other than that, bro, never happened. Face to face, never. It's never happened, bro. So how can this smoker be telling me I forwarded in his cell begging for my life and he saved me? 1 second. Why would you save me if you was just talking to Mr. Man about moving to me with him? Your words, you know I got you. Let me know. Your words, man heard clues here, the man then ran and grabbed that shanks and that. Your words, man was getting phone calls from the road. Yo, get my man down. 5 quid. You don't even need to do it. And you didn't take up none of these opportunities. Instead, what you did was go and tell Mr. Man, my man's cool, you know. My man's cool still. How can I be cool if you said previously you didn't like me because I was standing with littles, bro? Make me understand. What we doing here? And sometimes that's what I mean. Just let people talk. Just let them talk. They'll reveal themselves, bro. Cap. How? Make it make sense to me. It doesn't. I was in Rochi calm, bro. Fatch had been there, bro. And regardless of me and Fatch didn't know each other, we knew of each other. Hence why that's where we built our rapport from, bro. What's good, Brody? What's good, bro? Naturally. Gracefully. What, do I need to get an episode with Fatch and show you things or something? Because, bro, one thing I never need to do is like prove to a smoker I'm cool with my dog. What I can prove to you though is everything you've said is cap. And I've just shown you why. Why did no one move to me in Rochi? Furthermore, why did Mr. Man forward in my cell with tears in his eyes talking about, my brother's on the phone. Yeah, man, they want me to move to man and all that, but I'm not on all of that. I told man, push up the door, bad man, if there's an issue, you know. No door got pushed up, bad man. Why is that? I'm dolo, right? It's just me. You've got all the folks and that. So what? Who put their hand on me then? Who verbally badded me up then? Mr. Smoker. All right then. I rest my case. So then I left Rochester and went home. Gracefully. And I will continue what happened next after that. But you know it's the landing, man. There's no capping around there. You know. I'm in my yard. You know. I know where you're sitting and where you're residing, Mr. Smoker, but, you know, we don't need to talk on that unless we need to talk on that. You know. It's the landing, man. Make sure you have your notification bell on. Make sure you subscribe. I hope everybody had a great Christmas. You never know what we might talk about.
Call me Saint Nick. Caesar with me too. Going ape shit. Gorillas in the zoo. We had to break shit.